Hey friends, let's get into it. All right, it's our last episode of our Dressed with Purpose series that's based on Colossians 3:12-14. How did this even happen? How are we at the end of it? So just for old time's sake, I'm going to read this verse again. So it says, "So chosen by God for this new life of love, dress in the wardrobe God picked out for you. Compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Be even-tempered, content with second place, and quick to forgive an offense. Forgive as quickly and completely as the Master forgave you. And regardless of what else you put on, wear love. It's your basic all-purpose garment. Never be without it." Another version of these verses say, "And over all of these things, put on love." So this is my cape of love. You see how I put it on and it just covers everything? It's great. There's a few things I want to talk about today because the topic of love means so much to me. There's a reason that it's so highlighted in those verses. Putting on love is the most important thing of all. But it's not always easy to be ready to love others, to love yourself, or to even understand the depth of God's love for us. I want to share 2 little story times today of what happens when you don't speak with love. So this first story happened while I was out for breakfast alone one day. I was just enjoying the morning, enjoying some time alone, and shortly after I sat down, these 2 women sat at a table in front of me. They started chatting and just were asking each other normal things like, "How are you doing? How is work?" But it quickly turned into this ugly gossip session. For about 45 minutes, I listened to them gossip and speak badly about other women. They even went as far as to call someone hideous. With each sentence brought more and more ugly words. Now, I think sometimes we don't always realize that while gossiping seems harmless or maybe makes you feel better than that other person, it actually leaves such a negative and ugly mark on our hearts. And it spreads negativity to the people around you who can hear your words. This is what it looks like when you don't have love for others. This second story happened when I was working at a clothing store a while ago. So this store is all about body positivity and carries sizes from extra small to 4X, so everyone is included. So I was working with a manager who knew that I toured with BUgirl across Canada. For those of you who don't know, BUgirl used to tour all across Canada and talk to young girls about self-esteem issues and self-worth issues. And so this manager knew that I did that, but we had never ever discussed it before, or I hadn't talked about what I had done really. And so we were standing there and she just randomly asked me what I had done. And so I told her all about it and I was really excited. And just as I finished, these 2 plus-size women walked into the store. And we greeted them as normal and just asked how they were and how their night was. And one of them said, "My sister here, she was just in another plus-size clothing store and she was looking for jeans. And the saleswoman at that store told her that she was too fat for jeans, that her legs looked like sausages, and that she should just stick to wearing sweatpants." And it just absolutely broke my heart that this saleswoman judged this lady's worth by her waistline and judged her not worthy enough of being kind to and having love for. And this poor woman was so deeply affected by those words. She came into our store and had a hard time even beginning to look around for clothes. And once she got into the change room, we could hear that she was crying. The weight of the words that had been said to her were just weighing down so heavily and just made her feel just so unloved and not worthy of buying new clothes. This is what it looks like when you don't speak love to others. Sometimes it can be an automatic reaction to be hurtful to others if we're feeling bad about ourselves or if we're feeling jealous of what someone else might have. Instead of acting with love, for some reason it seems easier to cut that person down so they feel the same way that we do. But next time you're tempted to cut someone down, why not just show them love and build them up instead? Take this woman from the story I just said, crying in the fitting room. She was so deeply affected by the mean words that were said to her. They made her feel small and unworthy of love. My manager and myself did all we could to brighten her day. We just came to her and let her know that she mattered, she was important, and her beauty was not defined by her waistline. I even went as far as to write a little note of encouragement and just told her how beautiful she was and slipped it into the bag of clothes that she ended up buying without her seeing that. In my opinion, it's definitely worth my time to be nice and to have love for other people. Why would I waste my time being negative or mean when I could have a lasting positive effect in someone's life? Now on to loving ourselves. This one is not super easy. It's definitely been a struggle of mine in my life. In middle school and high school, I thought that I wasn't worthy of anyone's time or anyone's love, and it's all because I didn't love myself. I used to look in the mirror and hate what I saw. I just saw an abundance of flaws and so many reasons to not like myself. Now, we live in a world that is super quick to find fault. It says that if we don't look a particular way, if we don't use certain products, if we don't dress in this certain brand name clothing, we must be ugly and unlovable. We're constantly being told through social media, commercials, movies, whatever, that we are not good enough. And if we're getting all of that all the time, then how can we even begin to love ourselves? That was my problem, and it still sometimes is. It's tough to live up to other people's standards. There seems to be this unachievable goal of what beauty looks like. Hello, all you viewers out there. It's me, Delores Angelica Frederick Stool, and I'm about to make your life so much better. Now, I know what each one of you tuning in is thinking. Am I a mind reader? No. I know you're all tuning in thinking, how can I be more beautiful? Well, we have got you covered here at the Beautiful Unique Boutique. All right, this first item is a real winner. Hold on one second. All right, we all know that tall hair is in this season, obviously. But how do you get your hair to the heights of the heavens? With the Tall Hair Tammy wig, of course. Just look at how much height this gets you. Look at how much more noticeable you'll be with this product. I swear you won't even fit through any doorways. You'll want this one. All right, this next product is absolutely stunning. I mean, it is a real beauty here. All right, here we go. These are the wonderful fur fingers. Just look at all the fur they let off. For all of those times when you wanted to be trendy and have a pet, but couldn't be bothered to take care of one. Simply slap on these gloves and voila, it's a furry friend that's trendy and that you don't have to do anything for. You can just think about yourself. All right, ladies, you will absolutely not be able to live without this last product, I'm telling you. I can't even count how many times I've said to myself, Delores Stool, you would be absolutely beautiful if only you had gummy bears for teeth. Well, buckle up, ladies, because we have this revolutionary product called Gummy Gums. It will completely change your life. Who needs pearly whites when you can have gummy gums? Let's just take a look at these. Oh. I mean, can we just talk about how great this looks right now? It's just wonderful. If you want to be beautiful, you need to take advantage of all of these products right now. Now, if you want others to want to be just like you, then you need to pick up that phone, girlfriend, and order this whole set of Perfection products. It is just 36 easy payments of $99.87, and you will be the envy of all of your friends. Now, tune in next time, everyone, because we're going to have some more Perfection products coming your way. As you can see, you could order all of those crazy Perfection products or actual, like, real-life products, but nothing would help achieve perfection. When I was in the middle of all of those feelings of feeling not good enough, it seemed like there was no end and no solution. This is where God's love comes in. His love is like no other. It's bigger than we can imagine. It's more than we can even comprehend. It's unconditional, never-ending, and there's nothing we can do to lose it. That's a lot of big statements, I know, especially if you're feeling like you aren't loved. It's probably even hard to picture someone loving us with that much force. But God does. He knows each one of us so well. He created us to be creative, emotional, wonderful beings, and He loves all of the qualities inside of us. Now, it's easy for me to say all of that, but each one of us has a personal relationship with God, and He encounters each one of us in different ways. My first big God moment, or the first time I felt God's love, was when I was a teenager. So at that time, my best friend was going to a church that just got a new youth pastor. I wasn't attending the church very much. I had gone when I was little, but just here and there, never really regularly. But the new youth pastor was putting on this kind of big event. They were going to a concert, and it was right before the youth group kind of ended for the summer. And so my friend invited me to go, and I was really nervous because I was feeling always so badly about myself, and going into a new group of people with so many new people, in my mind, judging me, it was just really, really hard, and it made me very nervous and anxious. But she invited me to go, and I agreed, and we went in, and the youth pastor noticed that I was new and came and introduced himself to me and asked my name and just asked some different things about me that made me me. And so I told him, and I started to have a really great night, and we went to the concert. It was super fun. But then afterwards, it was just done. Like I said, the youth group was taking a break for the summer, so there was nothing to go to, and I kind of fell back into that pit of feeling not good enough and not worthy. So before that concert ended, we were all made aware of when youth group would be starting back up after summer. And when that time came, I just really felt this pull to go back to the youth group. So I talked to my friend, and we went, and I was really nervous again. I remember my palms sweating, and I remember feeling like my legs were shaking. But we came into the church, and the youth pastor came right up to me and said, "Oh, hey, Kaylyn." And he asked me about things we had talked about 2 months beforehand. And that was the big God moment for me. I just knew that God was using that youth pastor to speak to me. It was like God was saying, "Hey, Kaylyn, I know you, I remember you, and I love you." God came in the depths of my sadness and hurting, and He showed me that He values me and He loves me. So like I said before, God encounters each one of us differently. Your story is not going to look the same as mine, but He knows exactly what you need, and He'll show you how much He loves you in a way that will impact you. You just need to have your eyes open and your heart open to the way that He speaks. Now, something we can know about loving ourselves is that our worth is not determined by the color of our skin. It's not determined by the grades we get on a report card. It's not determined by how often we win, and it's not determined by our waistline. You are loved and valued by God, and you do not need to change a single thing about yourself. There's a reason that Colossians 3 says, regardless of whatever else you put on, wear love. Wear it proudly and in a way that others are affected and blessed. See you next time, friends. Spread that love. Let's get into it. Hey, friends. Let's get into it. Hey, friends. Seriously?